next amendment.
Representative Eskamani offered the following amendment to amendment with title amendment, barcode 648583. Remove line 679 of the amendment and insert an amendment.
Representative Eskamani, you're recognized on your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this amendment requires that if you're going to object to a book in our classrooms, you have to also submit a double-spaced 5-page report in 12-point font, including citations and APA of why the book should be removed from our schools. That is the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Are there questions of the sponsor? Is there debate? Recognized to close. Okay, wait, we got debate. Representative Holcomb in debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I spoke earlier this week on the politicization of terms, and this again is the politicization of terms. They use the term book ban. There is explicit material in these books. You can't read the material that's in these books in a public setting. I can't read it right here. You can't read it in a school board meeting, but yet they want to keep it. So I ask why. Why is this material so important that you keep it in the books in the libraries? Some books that they have kept in our school district have a sticker on it that says you must be 18 to check it out. Why? Why is that required? Folks, if we have explicit material in our books, just get rid of them. It's really easy. You don't need a 5-page report to do it. You need the material, the page number, and we remove it. Very simple. Thank you.
Debate. Representative Bartleman in debate.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to point out that this bill was to take out books that were inappropriate, but there has been an abuse of this law. These are amendments, and even the change to the current statute that addresses community members and the $100 fine for people who protest books that are then returned to the shelves. That's all because there are bad actors hurting our children's ability to get a quality education. This book ban, all of these things do not take away from removing explicit material. I want to put that on the record. Those are still in place for the people concerned about that. All it does is it stops bad actors, and we even had someone in public testimony say they were going to protest 3,000 books. They're protesting books that do not belong on a list, wasting staff time, and removing books that are of high quality off the shelves, and that's why this is in place. Please vote up this amendment. Thank you.
Representative Kennedy in debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I absolutely agree that we need to stop bad actors from filing frivolous claims. I absolutely agree with my friend, Representative Eskamani, that an APA bibliography is superior to MLA. In my more than 20 years of teaching middle school and high school students, I have assigned many a book report, and I have always focused on the superiority of the APA style. I also support the focus of making sure that the objections we have to books are thoughtful. And though this is certainly a friendly member, this is not a friendly amendment because we have a provision in the bill, which we'll discuss in just a minute, that works to very carefully craft language that solves the problem of bad actors while still making sure that taxpayers have the opportunity to speak into the process. So while I thank you for your thoughtful, careful approach, I must let my friends in the chamber know that this is an unfriendly amendment.
Further debate. Representative Robinson in debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I was surprised, and I'm very happy to hear that Representative Kennedy, agree that there should be some skin in the game, that if you're going to want to exclude a book, that you should actually have read the book. You should know what information that you claim is not good. So I actually thought that this was a good amendment. However, I would say I would definitely like to hear the statute or what you have put in here that's going to help with people not actually claiming frivolous book banning claims. So let's see what's happening. Thank you.
Representative Harris in debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for this amendment to Representative Eskamani and also Representative Bartleman, too, for filing amendment. It's really important that the people who are asking or requesting that information literature be taken off the shelves understand what it is that they're objecting to in the first place. This is one way to prove that they've actually read the material and that they know exactly what it is that they are objecting to. Also agree that we need to ensure that people are from the district, that are actual stakeholders when they're requesting that a book be taken off the shelves. It takes a lot of resources, both time and money, to pull books off the shelves. And we want to make sure that it is actually a thoughtful process. People are actually taking the time to understand why are they asking for the book to be taken off the shelves. So thank you, and I encourage everybody to vote up on this amendment.
Before we proceed, we have and want to welcome CFO Jimmy Petronas to the Florida House. Also, we want to represent our former House colleague and now Secretary of State, Cord Bird, to the Florida House. Is there further debate? Further debate. Representative Joseph in debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 2 points. We spent a lot of time talking about how we wanted to eliminate frivolous lawsuits in all kinds of areas of the law, be it insurance and all kinds of other things, but somehow we're okay with that frivolity in the education space. Why is that? Why is it okay for us to just make it harder and harder for our educational institutions to do their job, which is educate our children, instead of fielding complaints from random people from all around the country that don't care about the kids in that particular area? Why are we okay with frivolity with one and not the other? Are we saying that it's okay to make teachers do these extra things and jump through these extra hurdles and fight these legal battles and tie up their resources, but we want to protect certain industries and certain companies and certain professions? No, that makes absolutely no sense. And we wonder why we have a teacher shortage. We wonder why we're having a mass exodus. We wonder why it's just hard for people to do their job. And then one of my colleagues alluded to, well, we have to explain why these things need to be in. Well, no, it's actually the opposite. The burden of proof, if you want the book out, should be for you to say why the book should be out, not why it should be in. And let's think about this for a moment. If we're talking about intellectual honesty and we're really getting into the marketplace of ideas, you should be able to compete fearlessly and fairly in the marketplaces of ideas. If there's something wrong with your idea, the marketplace will weed it out. But instead of doing that, we're engaging in this backward censorship that we see in communist countries, which we supposedly have issues with, because we're saying that this content and that content is not okay, which recently the court, in case you missed it, ruled with the anti-woke legislation was unconstitutional. In fact, the court recently ruled that this content-based discrimination is violative of the First Amendment. Y'all may not care about the Constitution, but I and many of my colleagues, in fact, all of us, actually took an oath to uphold the Constitution against all threats, both foreign and domestic. So when we start having these people attacking our educational systems using supposedly explicit material as the guise to enter this, because it's easy to pick on trans folk, LGBTQ folks, because they're the target du jour, they're the scapegoat du jour. That's the entry point to say, hey, we're gonna take away this content and that content because, oh, you know, some people are homophobic. Yeah, we don't want our kids being indoctrinated. Nobody's indoctrinating the kids. When you look at the book, which is the purpose of this amendment, to look at the substance, so one book, here's the best example I can give you. One book was banned because the author's last name was gay. The author's last name was gay. That was the basis. I mean, that's some like real AI foolishness. So if we're gonna do it,
let's keep the demeanor in the House, please. Thank you. You can continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If we're going to ban these books, if we're going to authorize people to challenge these books, they should have a basis for the challenge. And the basis should be rational, reasonable, and compelling to violate that very important constitutional interest. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Further debate, further debate. Further debate. Seeing none, you're recognized to close on your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And members, I admit that this amendment is filed on behalf of the Petty Caucus, 100%. But I have to tell y'all that I get frustrated by those who are saying that the books being removed are just pornographic in nature. We all agree that pornography should not be in our schools. I think there's clear universal agreement on that. The issue is that we have books like 100 Women Who Made History, Remarkable Women Who Shaped Our World, to Africa, Cultural Atlas for Young People, Ruby Bridges, so many books about the Holocaust, books that have been questioned often by individuals who have no roots in that school district. And when they file a complaint, that book gets removed from the shelf. We've seen situations where a school board member was given a list of 50 books to ban from a Moms for Liberty individual, and there were one-word answers of why these books should be banned. And when a school board member does it, they're automatically removed without question. So we've created this chaos with our schools to the point where many of our school teachers have removed their libraries from their classrooms. And I became an avid reader when I was in 3rd grade. Kudos to Accelerated Reader. I got very competitive. But I credit so much of my ability today to communicate ideas, to pick up this microphone, to my love for reading. Reading was also so essential for me when my mom passed away, to have books that gave me comfort and support. Some people might say that a book about someone dying is inappropriate for kids to read, but for me, it was transformational. It helped me feel that I wasn't alone. So when I brought this amendment forward, it was based upon a serious concern that individuals are filing these objections with very little merit. I believe in merit. I think all of us do, which is why I chose APA. So shout out to Rep. Kennedy for the APA. I see you, girl, absolutely. APA is always better than MLA. But I included it because I want to really set the tone here that if you're going to file an objection, just do so with credibility. Do so after you read the book. There have been some examples of committees that have actually read some of these books, and they've decided, you know what, these books have value. They weren't what we thought that one paragraph was, right? And so I really do encourage folks to support this amendment. Let's add merit to the process. Let's make sure people are doing the research, doing the work. And of course, let's have them do the same level of work we expect our kids to do every single day with that 5-page book report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Having closed on the amendment, all in favor say yay. Yay! Opposed, no. No. Show the amendment fails. Read the next amendment.
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.